All right, guys, here we are. Take two, 19th of April. We'll run it back since apparently technology was not our friend earlier this morning. Let's talk about tonight's MLB DFS slate. And as I mentioned last time out, I'll say the same thing. Make sure you guys stack the Red Sox against Giolito today if you're playing the showdown because it's not going well for him.
By this point, the game might already be over by the time people see it.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. They really got after him, but that's baseball in a nutshell, and that's why playing contrarian can work a lot of times. Now, you don't want to routinely stack against Giolito, but pick your spots, and let's talk about a couple of those now.
For sure.
All right, guys, our boys over at Drafters got an early NFL best ball contest that is up. There's going to be a lot of overlay on it. You want to make some money? I mean, your odds of getting in the money are like literally at this point 50%. And that just means you got all the – it's like a cash game with GPP upside to boot. So it's a $5.50. There's only 10 days left. Get in there. We're going to be having a Drafters draft with a bunch of our customers today. We wish we could get more of you guys to come play with us. This is like honestly one of the more fun parts about every single day. It's these snake drafts. Our promo code is DFS5Pack. Just let me know if you want to come play. Like, it is open to anybody. I don't even care if you use our promo code. I just want a bigger player pool. We got like a 6-7 person draft going on in about an hour from now. It'll probably be over before a lot of you guys watch this one, but we'll be doing this basically every single day this week. We do basketball, we do baseball. It's fun. Get announced on the show if you win. Also, if you sign up and play and you win, I'll give you a free 5-pack membership for the month.
Really can't beat it.
All right, guys. Weekly and monthly memberships available through the website. Let's talk about where we are going. We're going to run through this quick today as it is take two. Joe Musgrove, San Diego, 10-2. Best pitching option on the docket tonight. Doesn't mean he'll end up being the best guy, but on paper, he's the best place to go today. Home team. It's a better park for San Diego at night. You get that marine layer, cool air. It is just better. The Brewers strike out a ton. They went through a really deflating loss yesterday to Pittsburgh in extra innings. No Yelich, no Kane, no Wong. They strike out a ton. Musgrove has been good. He wasn't great last start, so I actually love the bounce back start here. A lot to like.
Yeah, a ton to like here. Again, there are solid pitching options on this slate, but no DeGroms, no Biebers, nothing like that. Musgrove is the best of the bunch in a good spot at home against a weak Milwaukee lineup, missing Kane, missing Yelich. Just overall a good spot for Musgrove, the best pitcher on the slate. The best spot, maybe not the best overall spot on the slate, but a good enough spot. And at 10-2, Musgrove looks like a nice play in all formats.
All right, moving along. As far as offense goes today, check out cover boy Shohei Ohtani, 4,600, first base outfield eligibility, cash game lock here. Why? He's going to be the highest owned player on this slate potentially. He's got one of the weaker pitchers on the slate to attack. He's dually eligible, which is one of the reasons he'll get so much love. That he's under 5K. He's been playing well all year. He's a good player playing well against one of the weaker pitchers with dual eligibility at sub 5K. I mean, there's a lot to like here for the cash game format. Should you fade him in GPPs? Look, guys, there's an argument to be made on both sides of it. Baseball is not replicable. I brought up Nikola Jokic and put him on the cover for NBA today. He's going to succeed. To what level? We don't know. Ohtani, even though he makes a ton of sense on paper, every chance he could go out today, go 1 for 5 with a single, and you could definitely find somebody that does better than that. But in cash games, play him because the upside's legit.
Yeah, you just play him in cash games. If you're stacking the Angels, you play him there. He's one of the best hitters. He's one of the best value hitters on the slate at 4,600, and he looks great in all formats. No hitter is ever a must in tournaments because we know how hitting works. If you get a hit a third of the time you're at bat, you're a Hall of Famer. So just in that sense alone, all hitters are always fadeable. On the other hand, in any cash lineup, again, if you're stacking them, you just play Ohtani because he's in a good spot, and he's probably a little bit he's probably at least 500 too cheap with Jared Walsh, 5,100.
Yeah, I mean, bringing up the point for baseball, last week at some point, we brought up 4 guys on this show, and I want to say they combined to bat 500 on the day. But it was like all singles, no RBIs, and no runs scored, and no stolen bases. So you can succeed in baseball and still not have good DFS scores because it's so reliant on home runs and stolen bases.
Good point.
All right, next up, Tommy Pham. Matt is sitting over there half chub talking about Tommy Pham. I think the best thing about him, only $2,700 for a guy who could legitimately be a 2020 player at year's end. I'll let you get into what you've seen with his at-bats. A point for my Brewers, though, there's a couple catchers in this league you don't really want to run on. Manny Pena is one of them, but he started yesterday. Narvaez will be back in the lineup today. And Narvaez is a vastly superior offensive catcher, but he's only mediocre defensively, so that's really good for his stolen base option.
Yeah, I've watched a ton of fans at bat at bats recently, hitting the ball hard all over the park. Hasn't translated into hits until he hit an RBI double in the bottom of the 8th last night. We know Pham is much better than he's played so far this year. He's much better than this $2,700 price tag. Finally got off the schneid with that big double. Big speed upside with some power to boot. Not going to be owned at all. Very cheap at $2,700. I can't get enough of Tommy Pham here, as you said.
Yeah, is it a good matchup? No. Brandon Woodruff's a good pitcher, but again, he's 2,700. That's a really, really low risk right here. And all he can like get into a fielder's choice, steal second, and you can live with that day.
Amen.
All right, next up, current NL MVP and potentially the best player in baseball to start the year, Mr. Redbeard himself, Justin Turner. Good hitter against lefties, good hitter against righties. He's just a good hitter. Dodgers are the best offense in baseball. They're in one of the best spots on paper tonight. He is pricey, so you're going to have to find a way to prioritize him if you want to get him in there. But if I could, like, if this is a drafters draft that we're playing right now, he's one of my top 3 or 4 bats I want in this league. I might go like Trout over him, and maybe even Betts. Even though Turner's been a lot better than Betts this year, we know Betts is still the better fantasy hitter, but he's right there to me as like a top 3 or 4 bat overall, price not even considered.
I don't think that's even a question right now. I agree with you, even though in tournaments, kind of like Ohtani, can definitely get on board with fading him because the Dodgers, just like the Angels, are going to be high owned. If you're just like doing a drafters or making the lineup with the best plays on paper, Turner's definitely in there.
Yeah, it is one of the reasons. Also, another reason to sign up and play on drafters, guys, is you don't have to worry about ownership percentage as much. I like the fact that you can just go through and you pick your plays. Like, I end up with Justin Turner most days so far this year because he doesn't project quite as high as some other guys, but he's playing well and I like him. Just another way to get a little bit different in the world of DFS.
For sure.
All right, last up, Brandon Belt Giants, 3,400 first baseman. The Giants are in a top 3 or 4 spot on paper today. However, they won't get anywhere near the love that either of the LA teams are going to get. They're not as good, but we only got to beat a couple teams today. And Chase Anderson is not a slouch, but he's also not a good pitcher. They get a ballpark upgrade, and I love the 3 extra base hits over the last 2 days.
Yeah, seeing the ball well right now. Big park upgrade from San Fran, also from where they were just playing in Miami. Kind of a breath of fresh air spot for them. A lot to like about Belter, who's still one of the Giants' better hitters. Always like him against weaker righties. Has good power from the left side. Really cheap piece of a Giant stack. I like quite a bit here. And as you mentioned, they're not going to get much love at all.
Yeah, I'm guessing a lot of the Giants guys are between 5 and 15% today. They're not completely under-owned, like to the point that they're like 1%. But when you pick on a team that's 1%, they're usually 1% for a reason. But they are not going to be the chalk that the LA teams are going to be.
I couldn't agree more.
All right, guys, that's what we got for today. We wish you all the best of luck. Get after it. Go win yourselves some money tonight. Come draft with us on Drafters. Talk to you guys in a little bit.
Thanks, guys.